Hello, greetings, salutations, everyone. Um, Today is going to be a super fun um, video stream today. Thank you for everyone who voted for our stream today. It kind of came, it's a little bit of a surprise. Just because if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, we basically vote either for every Monday or every Wednesday stream, depending on the divide between um, topics and stuff like that. And I'm starting a little earlier today because I have the acrylics on. I'll give the reveal in just a moment. But I really did start the live because it's a bit. I'll give my history on acrylics and all that stuff. But before that, I just want to give a quick shout out to our patrons right over here. Thank you for your support, emotional, monetary, or otherwise. Thank you guys always so much. Anytime I see you guys here on stream, and we laugh together and we try out these crazy challenges together. Also, let me know if like my mic is like a little too loud. I think I want to like kind of let me see. Is that better? Like I just feel like I'm really like close to the mic, but just let me know if I'm like shouting in you guys' ear, and I hope you guys are having a good Wednesday morning, afternoon, or even Tuesday because I know I'm in a part of the world where I'm sometimes in the future, but yeah, so before we do the whole nail reveal thing, I'm going to make a confession that this is my third time officially. Well, I guess second as far as like putting on acrylics. Like, if you don't count that, like, one time I put on like these stick on witch nails, like with scotch tape when I was like 8 because I saw them at my local drugstore and I fell in love with them. So here's the thing. That's why even you'll see like a video, especially if this is your first stream that you've caught me on. I have extremely short, like I lovingly call them nubby nails. I could never grow them like longer than I don't even know like how you would even measure, but anytime like I'll give you a reference as far as how short they are. Anytime I would get like a French manicure or a manicure at a local salon, they would always give me the kids' prices because of how short and how small my hands are. And to the point where even getting acrylics, like I couldn't really get acrylics until probably I was in my 20s. And they even gave me like kid sizes, which I didn't even know existed, but apparently, I guess with pageants and stuff like that, it's a thing. And like, yeah, so that's my experience. Now, mind you, the acrylics that I have on today, they're not professionally put on. I was kind of torn on Tuesday as far as if I wanted to do a rubber stamp um, tutorial or doing this acrylic nail challenge. And so I kind of got the box set just because I knew that and getting acrylics, believe it or not, if you are not too familiar with getting them, they're pretty pricey depending on where you get them. Even though in the long run, they'll last you a really long time. But I have a lot of, like, at least my experience with my very like short-lived experience with acrylics, it's kind of like they really damaged my nail for like the short time that I had them, just because like either the technician or from what I like, at least not to like go on a rant. Usually I talk like for a really long time just so the more people can like hop on and like see what's going on. Technically, we don't start till 2, so I give like a little bit of my rundown in the beginning. But yeah, like the first time I got them, it was like for a special occasion, and I was super super excited. But the problem was is that I guess the technician, um, who was honestly very professional, and they came out beautiful, but it wasn't until the second time that I got them, I guess, like redone or resized because they kind of grow. So, for anybody who doesn't know, acrylics are kind of like um, a almost like plastic nail. I know I'm like really butchering it, and there's more nuance to it than that, but it's basically putting on a fake nail over like your existing nail, and it's supposed to kind of lengthen them and make them look more shapely, and you can add like more decoration and stuff like that, especially if your nails are anything like mine where there's like no room to add anything. But when I did get them done the second time, apparently like the person who, even though they did like from the outside they did a very beautiful job, what they did to my nail underneath is that they took off too much, so they kind of grind down like your actual nail, to place kind of this like adhesive or this base over it. But yeah, they took so much off that like basically the second time around they had to like basically go into like emergency recover mode, I guess. And but I don't know how much of that was true. I just knew that after that I kind of swore off acrylics for a really long time, because my nails kept breaking after that, and I kind of took it as, a sign from the universe that I should be happy with my nubby nails. Now, with all that said, I don't know, if I did have the chance and I saved up a little bit more, I probably would get them done. Probably I've heard really good things about getting dip or like not acrylic nails, but like the dip um, like gel manicure, because I heard it like strengthens and all that stuff. But for today, I see I'm 2 minutes from 2, so I rambled long enough. So for today, I took oh no, I put away the box. I was gonna show you guys the box. Well, if you look at my pictures, it's basically these just press on like self-done ones. So they're not professional in any way. Like they really look like costume nails, even though I feel like if you do like a good coat over them, like you can probably pass them off pretty decently, but since I don't know what I'm doing, they look really bad. But for the purposes of the experiment today, they're gonna do that job because, like, at least for what I remember and how they feel now, it feels pretty close to how I felt when I had acrylics on. The adhesive is pretty stuck on there, and it literally feels like I have claws, and I feel, honestly, that's why I picked this meme, because I remember when I got acrylics for the first time, this is exactly how I felt, and I feel kind of like that now. Even though I know it's kind of like on budget, but that is okay because it will fulfill our purposes for today. So I'm gonna take our beautiful meme queen here down, and okay, so I have a little bit of a prompt here for today. Okay, are you guys ready for, well, I won't give like the reveal just yet, because if you guys see here on the right-hand corner of your screen, I believe it's your right. Yes. It's actually going to play footage from how, like, because you guys have seen me paint on here, you guys have seen me draw, but you've never really seen me ink before, so I at least wanted to kind of record a video, of a playback video of like what my, I guess, everyday inking style is, and kind of compare it to like how I'm going to ink with acrylics on. You'll see like at least the prompt here, like I have it on like my live actual video feed, but you're gonna see like a playback of that on the right hand corner, and then when I flip the page, it's going to be like a new prompt. Like I used a tracing paper method to kind of sketch the same stuff. This is kind of like a test that I do with new markers and stuff. You're going to see that I actually bought these pens because I wanted it to be as unbiased as possible because I'm picky that way anytime I do my experiments, my art experiments. I bought like brand new markers that like I've never used prior to like filming this. So like filming it is basically like the video feed is going to be the first time that like I ever used them. And then right here, I'm gonna try like the same tests that I normally do with markers with acrylic nails, and then we'll find out if like there's really a difference or if it's basically the same. We'll do it with ink, we'll do it with painting, and then we'll do it with like the killer combo of painting and inking. So anytime I test with um, markers, I basically do like lines, and a lot of the times I do it with two like thicknesses of it to see kind of like the differences between the two. And then a lot of the times, what I do is I do a painting test over it to see if it's like, even though you can actually see it from the actual brand of marker, if it's water soluble or not. But sometimes, depending on the paper, and depending on the paint that you're using and how much water, you can see how much you can kind of get away with if you put the ink first, which is not recommended, guys, especially with watercolor. Watercolor is very like, how can I say, like seepy, where it'll just bleed all over the place. So it's very much recommended to do your inking after it dries. But if you're like a daredevil like me and don't like to follow the rules all the time, I kind of like to see what I can get away with, especially when I'm unsure about my lines. So sometimes I like to like do my tracing under and then paint over it. So then if I can like hide anything after, I can do it with a thicker ink. But that's just me. I'm a rebel. So okay, so I think it's time for a claw reveal. Are you guys ready? Oh my gosh, like spooky. Oh my gosh, guys. I honestly feel like I told myself because of the length and everything that I'm getting like witchy vibes, which I like. However, the fakey French manicure like screams, "Can I talk to your manager?" You know, like this seems like the type of like I need to talk to the school counselor after I pick up like my kid like 4 hours like late from aftercare. Like I only give that example because I've worked aftercare before and I've had parents who had manicures like this, like talk that way to me. And oh my gosh. So yes, so this in and of itself, I like it. I don't know. I like the idea of like the power. I don't know what it is about having long nails. I guess because I'm a nubby nail gal, that it just feels strange. But however, that's why I started the stream a little early because it is a chore, to say the least. Even I made a post like kind of announcing the stream and to see if, and I had to do like one of these like things where it's like I'm tapping the phone with like, I never do that. I always scroll like with my thumb, and but the nail always got in the way. So like I had to do like one of these things where it's like I'm like basically posting like this, like I'm 60 years old. At some point, I even used my middle finger, like to like kind of like type something, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just turned into my mother real quick. And that's the thing, like my mom, she's always had, and I think that's what it is. My mom's always had very beautiful long nails, and like there's part of me that I'm like, oh my gosh, I love long nails. I like want long nails, but now that I have them right now, it could be because like I got I didn't want to go cheap on you guys. Well, at least I tried not to, but I wanted to like push the experiment as much as I could, and I got like medium long. They didn't have the super long ones, which is what I really wanted. Like I wanted like the claw nails, like Billie Eilish level. Like that's what I wanted to do, but they didn't have them, so this was like the next best thing. But eventually, I think we can graduate to that. Like we can graduate to those lengths of nails. So yeah. So what I'm gonna do is turn the page here. Hopefully I could do that. Jeez. Let me double check. Probably you guys can't see the sketches. I did do this with the tracing paper. Oh yeah, I gotta roll up my sleeves for this one. So in case you guys are wondering at home, what I'm using the pigment liner, um, Art Alternatives. Um, I've never, again, never used it before prior to filming, and but from what I can see, at least even from like this sketchbook, I'll have to test it on my watercolor paper in the future, and see from there. But yeah, we'll zoom in, see how we're doing. So at first I wanted to do it where I was gonna sketch on this page and then ink on this page, but like in my, I don't know, like just hurry in doing everything on time. I kind of inked and painted on this one. So what we'll do is that like I'll ink on this page and possibly paint also on this one with the acrylics, and then probably use this one for my sketch pencils, depending if we have time. But it depends on like how the hour goes. So, without further ado, let's start the experimento. But yeah, how you guys doing? How's it going? Are you guys also joining in on the experiment? Because I know I had some of you guys wondering if I was going to like actually do my. It was so funny because you guys like legit thought that I was going to go to like a salon and do it, and I'm just like, guys, I don't got it in the budget. I would love to, but I can't do it. But yeah, in case you guys wanted a better look of what I can do is post the practices here. So then if you guys ever want to practice along, for me, I've found like with practice and stuff that like for me, the three things that I always want to test with markers is like how well it draws curves, how many lines it takes to like kind of create a like thicker outline. So I always draw like three triangles and then kind of see the difference between like those three thicknesses, and like if there's like a big difference between especially the point 0.5 and the point 0.1, which I always use, and also if it translates well in like a little mini thumbnail. Um, oops, sorry, my headset's dying. So yeah, if you guys want me to post this practice, I will. Oh, and also on top of the painting thing, I think the more important one is drawing a hand with a tattoo, because I feel that translates. Wait 1 second, guys. Sorry. Okay, we can add plugging in USB cords as a level of difficulty with acrylic nails also. But yeah, I also draw like always like hands and stuff with tattoos to see, especially because in black and white, especially with the, I'm sorry, I just can't get over like my nails. Um, the like the thickness between like the outline of the hand and then adding the detail of a tattoo, kind of seeing if between those two like sizes, if you can see kind of the difference in outline and stuff and in detail, because that's going to be pretty important, especially when you draw details on the face. If you get markers that sometimes are on the um let me see, how can I word it, like if you get markers that like there's not a clear difference between sizes, it won't matter. Like you'll have to like work extra hard to like make sure your details are being read correctly and that your outlines are well balanced, and especially where in working with watercolor paper that's not as forgiving as like normal computer paper, it's good to like test this out firsthand, because if it's not going to read well on computer paper, it sure is not going to read well on watercolor paper. So I will be quiet and get to the experiment. So yeah, I'll make sure to also play the video here on the corner so then you guys can kind of see the difference. I'll try and go as fast as I can um, with with both. I also filmed the painting portion, so we can like follow that along too. I'm noticing actually the cap and stuff. Okay, so I started with already. Alright, guys. Oh yeah, I also gotta do. So yeah, I'll alternate between the 0.5. You know what? I'll just make everything acrylics. Oh boy, we can start out with pencil. I also said I was gonna experiment with that, with writing with pencil. Oh geez. Oh hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the experiment, more like it. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. So I guess our first experiment is gonna be how write and how do. Oh boy. Let me see, pencil. So how are you doing this lovely day? Alrighty, let me see if everything's in frame. Okay, yeah, we're good. Alrighty. Checking everything's good. I think I did like a little tap tap there. Let me see. Let me double check it's playing. Oh, doing very, very good. I'm super happy because I was able to do all of my chores for today, and I got a good workout in too, so the adrenaline is pumping, and I also made a really killer cup of coffee. I finally was able to find the brand that I've been dying to get my hands on for a while, um, and everything's going good. How about yourself? Wait, let me double check. I just want to make sure that the video is playing for you guys. I'm sorry if it's looking a little mirrory at the point. Let me just double check, because I want to say. I'm sorry, guys, technical difficulties, but oh, there we go. There's the tap tap. Alrighty. Okay, let me just replay it just a little bit. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's how I started the video. Oh, nice. Are you also an artiste? Are you just more of the artistic fan? All right, that's the one. There we go. That's how we can start it. Oh, really? So what do you dabble in? What's your poison? Oh, just checking. Sorry, guys. Okay, yeah, you can see it perfect. Alrighty. Sorry, sorry. I gotta just double check because I don't want anything to be out of frame. Alright. Okay, we'll start from the tap tap. See, that's why I did that tap tap, so then I know where I can start with you guys. There we go. Do you dabble in the dark digital arts? Do you dabble in the oh oh no. Okay, okay. Alrighty. Oof. Let me try it with the smaller one if it's okay. That one was 0.5. Let's see how we're doing with. Oh, you do? Nice. Are you liking actually, do you recommend any specific um inking pens, because I only know Micron, and then I'm trying out this one for the first time. for art alternatives, but I've never really tried anything else besides those two brands. Oh, and then Copic markers. Okay, so in case you guys are following along too, why it's numbered 1, 2, 3, it's not only because of the number of triangles, but also that's the number of strokes that I'm, att I'm attempting to do. Oof. So then you can, oh geez, you can kind of follow along. So that's our point 0.5. I'm gonna try and do it with our 1. Okay, 1, 2. I do have to admit, it's harder. Um, I don't know if you guys are catching it. It's like, oh geez, it's like harder for me to get like a grip. Um, I'm definitely sensing like I'm almost like changing my hand position. Like normally, okay, like it's kind of forgiving, I think, because um, like it's line work, but I'm nervous for the curves because something tells me either a nail's gonna pop off or my marker is gonna go all over the place. I I do notice that there's like a little bit of jaggedness, I guess. Let me see. Oh, really? Comic markers, is that like a specific like set of markers? I think I've seen like in I'm not sure if you have Michaels or anything like that. Um, but in a lot of Blick art stores, sometimes I see like where they sell the mangaka ones, so it's like whole packets and stuff. Uh, is that the one, or is it like a specific? Oh, I've been really wanting to get into dip pens. Okay, let me try a little harder though. I felt like I kind of breezed through that one. Let me see. I want to give acrylics like a fair shake on this one. Okay, wait. Okay, there we go. Yes. All right, now this is the true test. You know what? Let me just do one more line. So in case this one, um, it's pretty good idea, especially with thinner markers, to do a test like this. So it's basically where um, you stroke up or down. So following along with the arrow. So then you kind of know, especially with your thinner markers, how much, I guess, forgiveness they'll have, or if you suffer like me from shaky hand, how gentle you need to be to get like an appropriately straight line. Because a lot of the times you can actually fix your shaky hand by just sweeping up your pen very gently. So like let me try and demonstrate. So if you press too hard, a lot of the times, what will happen is that like the pressure of you forcing the or dragging the pen will naturally cause friction between the paper and will actually like almost create a tension that will like kind of like the pressure of it will create a big enough push that'll you'll have to really work hard to like align it again. So, a good fix, or at least an experiment that you can try, is just consciously make it your pressure a little lighter, and you'll have um, like a bit of a better time. So, I'll try and demonstrate that. So, try and go a little lighter, and it'll look just like that. So, you kind of see, let me zoom in a little bit so then you guys can kind of get what I'm talking about. Oh, okay. To be honest, I've been using. I've just started. Oh, Copic. Oh, I love Copic markers. Oh, you came to the right place. Oh my goodness. I love Copic markers. It's it's I don't know why it was one of like the most stressful but fun at the same time. 'Cause I was really used to erasing everything. And do you have like specific colors and stuff that you really like to use, or are you just trying a little bit of everything? I love the Chow, the CIAO, I believe, brand. Like that combination, I guess, of colors. Oh, that was my favorite. One of my friends let me borrow it, and I'm so sorry. I was going to zoom in so then you guys can see. So zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. So if you guys can, okay, I'll try and focus you guys a little bit. So you can kind of see a little bit more. Um, so here's like where I added like a lot more pressure, and then here's just a bit lighter. If you guys can tell, it's just like it's by forcing it, it's just kind of, you know what? I'm gonna write that down. Let me just zoom out a little bit. I will write that down and get back to you on that because is it like a specific um let me see. I'll write that down. Actually, this is a great experiment. Can I write further? Let's see how acrylics like. Okay, I just wrote that down, so I make a note. So then I kind of research. Is it like a new brand that came out? Is it something like the two biggest things that I know in the marker world to I guess test out is if they're alcohol based markers or more water soluble, just because I know those are, I guess, like the two biggest ones. Like apparently they bring out like different like characteristics from each other, but that's as far as I know. Um, like for example, I want to say with this one, mm, oh wait, did I say water solid? I meant sorry, like alcohol based and ink. I remember seeing. Oh, that's always nice. I mean, if there's ever a point where I know, it's because let me, you know what? Hold that thought. What I can do is that I will look up some information because I don't want to steer you in the wrong, way. Um, so let me just do a little research and then I'll get back to you. And if anything, I have some friends who they dabble a little bit more in that space, so I'll ask them and then I can get back to you. Because I oh, see, look, that's like the mistake I was talking to you guys about. I put a little bit too much pressure. Okay, but also like I'm awful at like left hand swipes. I'm always much cleaner with okay. Ah. See, this is where I wish I was ambidextrous. Okay. I made a bit of more conscious effort, but I can't lie. Like I feel like my pinky is being uh like like I feel like so dramatic because I feel like I'm being like super fancy and like swooping. Oh no, the video. Oh, I think because it stopped playing. Wait, 10 out of 10. There we go. Let's see if I can. Alrighty, because we're still not done, so we'll try. But yes, I will ask. So then, if anything, we can make an important. And if there's ever a thing like if I'm taking too long, and I always severely apologize for that. Um, There's some really good art review channels that I can send also. Uh, so then everyone is informed. Okay, yeah. So the one that I'm doing now for this, it is point one. That's going to be for your outer outline, and then for detail work, I wouldn't recommend going more, at least for outline wise for tests, um, more than a couple of sizes because you won't really see the quality difference between those two. Definitely, if you're working on a specific piece that you know for sure you're going to use those specific sizes, but don't like to test markers and stuff like that. Um, just two will be more than enough because then you'll see the varied details. Because I've had people who they buy packets and think that it's like, oh, okay, then I'll definitely know. Don't get like the whole packets until you know for sure it's something that unless it's something where there's like a sale, and usually they're never on sale. I just know that because I was very fortunate to have a friend who, funny enough, who gave me my first set of Copics, and they gave me kind of their sample size. And what's funny is that you can actually get refills like from it. So a lot of the times people think you have to get whole markers all over again, but you can actually get, I know that's the case for alcohol base, and you can actually, if I'm not mistaken, you can find tutorials. Don't quote me, I would definitely look it up. I believe if you use uh, like alcohol, you can actually get a bit more color from the base. Um, and even though your marker seems like a little dead, oh, I'm so sorry. That's my puppy. Sometimes, like, he hides his bones in places that he shouldn't, and makes a little bit of a fuss. So I am noticing, funny enough, with the acrylics, um, like I have to change my hand movement a lot. Uh, like it's almost like I have to. It's so weird to explain it because I don't know if you guys can probably, you can see it in the video above, but I tend to draw down a lot um, consciously because I feel like I have a better grasp. But it's almost like with the acrylics, I have no choice but to sweep up. So that's a thing. I, yeah. Yeah, it does. It almost feels like these. It's weird. It's almost like the acrylics are like anchoring like the pen in a different way. So it's like I have no choice but like having to like sweep up to make like a smooth movement because if not, it's like if I go down, I'm like stabbing myself in the hand. Okay, so all right, we're almost done with the experiment. I want to kind of work on this one and then get into painting because oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, this is I'm not going to lie, this is nothing but curves. So oh boy. Yeah, because straight lines are one thing and then curves are another. So, okay, all right. Yes. So, when it comes to like, I'm a very, very big advocate for having a board. So, an inspiration board when you're studying. Um, I want to say that a lot of the times your own art style comes when you kind of start studying art in the way like you understand art better um as somebody who like you kind of like break up art um, and find what you like about it. So, for example, on Instagram or on Pinterest, when you start looking at a piece of art and kind of realizing what you like about it, so whether it's the color, or it's the composition, the character, things like that. And when you start understanding that and kind of picking and choosing, you can actually start making a board of, like, let's say for example, like, I guess the biggest question is like, why do you like drawing, or what is it about your favorite thing, um, about art, like when you sit down and draw, what's like your favorite thing? And I know I kind of put you on the spot. And if it's too personal of a question, I don't want to push you towards that. I very much want to respect people's journeys and why they do things, but a big part of starting like kind of like your own thing, I think it's probably just challenge myself. That's great. And I feel that improving, so in a lot of ways, your art and your expression, unfortunately, it just comes with practice. Like, I know it's the cheesiest answer ever, but it's something that you're going to find the more that you practice, the easier it's going to become. But it's also practicing in the things that, um, like, you can look at your work and, of course, being critical, and but that it patience. I know I'm telling myself that more than your question, um, because it does take a bit of time, um, but when you start kind of um, like looking at your work, and what really helps me out too a lot of the times is that I redraw a lot of my older stuff, and you can kind of see how you've evolved with time, even if you're new to drawing. Um, and it's something that, like, you're like just started, things like that. You can do the same experiment of drawing, like either characters or things, and seeing the difference. And it's pretty like fulfilling because you say, "Oh wow, look!" Even like sometimes it's really small things. Sometimes it's even just like, "Hey, look! Like that left eye isn't as crooked as it was before," or "Oh, and you kind of spot yourself that way." If that makes sense. I'm so sorry if I rambled a little bit. I tend to TED talk a lot, so just let me know if I'm in the wrong avenue. I No, I get it. I just think that I kind of screwed myself since I started drawing by looking at cartoons and copying it directly. Oh, okay. So for that, I have. Okay, so is it because now you're like changing your identity? It's kind of like your identity, like you're changing, like your goals. It's kind of like you want to go for more realistic sort of thing. Because I'm a big advocate in and of itself of like learning from the art that you like and picking pieces and stuff and learning from it, but tracing in and of itself can be a tool but not something that you rely on, if that makes sense. So for example, da, 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 like for actually funny enough, the corner of this house, right? The one that you see on the screen. I actually, there was one stream that I did where I was looking at a photo reference, but I've never drawn a house before drawing this one. And what I did was is that to study the reference, I actually drew over it. There's also another stream that I did about studying photographic, um, like like photographs and stuff, of anatomy and things like that, and breaking it down. So then you learn how to study from references better, but never, how can I put it? Never directly like just relying on that tracing part. It's kind of more of a tool to like create a footnote. If you want me to like kind of break down those steps, I'll be happy to do it. Just let me know if that's something you're interested in, or if you just want me to like keep on with this part. I know. I wish I still think I have those files. And it's okay. Sometimes our goals change, and that just means like you're growing as a person. You know. Sometimes there's styles that I remember I used to draw chibi style like predominantly for like most of like when I was younger. Um, and ooh, guys, just 1 second, because I have a feeling my puppy got into something that he was not supposed to. Just 1 second. I'm just gonna you guys real quick just to make sure he's not in need of assistance. Just 1 second. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to pause the stream really quick, because my puppy just ate a hole in the couch. Oh my gosh. Just 1 second. I'm so sorry to end the stream. Just 1 second. I have to do like damage control just for 1 second, but I promise I will hop on as soon as I can. Just give me 1 second.